Good evening. It's just gone 8 p.m. and it's time to catch you up on what's been happening locally and in the world around you. My name is Wadzanai Sansole and these are your top stories. President Mnangagwa today addressed Zimbabwean ambassadors and heads of mission, compelling them to transform diplomatic missions into economic hubs that actually drive trade and investment. More on that story here on Newsplus. Also on Newsplus, President Mnangagwa presided over the 23rd graduation ceremony at Zimbabwe Open University and also commissioned the institution's administration facility. We'll give you an update on the verdict of the Kwazana killer combi driver who has been jailed and banned from driving. And for your sport, the Zimbabwe senior men's cricket team lost by 7 wickets to Afghanistan, who now command a 2-0 unassailable lead. Thank you very much for joining us right here on Newsplus this Friday evening. A look at our main news now. President Emmerson Mnangagwa says Zimbabwe's diplomatic missions across the world should transform into strategic economic hubs that drive trade, investment, tourism, and innovation while capitalizing on the country's educated human capital to strengthen Harare's global influence. Now, the president was addressing Zimbabwean ambassadors and heads of state at State House in Harare earlier today. Our correspondent Mirirai Nsingo attended this engagement and filed the following report.
In his address, President Mnangagwa said the country's embassies must move beyond traditional diplomacy to play a proactive role in advancing national development. He highlighted the huge responsibilities that envoys carry, including marketing brand Zimbabwe, and how embassies should be economic hubs that advance trade. The president emphasized how Zimbabwe was committed to the improvement of the business operating environment.
I implore you as ambassadors to engage progressive parties from other countries as part of efforts to widen and deepen the scope of Zimbabwe's partnerships and influence. The Second Republic's economic diplomacy thrust has proven to be critical in infusing dynamism into international trade and subsequently economic growth and development. As the nation awaits the launch of the National Development Strategy number 2, I wish to applaud you for your pivotal role towards the successes registered under the National Development Strategy 1.
President Mnangagwa further urged the ambassadors to market the country's human capital and ensure that young people are strategically placed in international organizations. You called on the missions to identify opportunities for skilled Zimbabweans.
Zimbabweans are renowned for their education, hard work, and professionalism. Riding on the high numbers of skilled young people, there is need for us to harness the exportable potential of our human capital. Let us deliberately expand our representation in critical multilateral organizations and share our expertise and experience with the rest of the world.
The president emphasized the need for an open-door policy, calling the ambassadors to engage with people living abroad.
There is need to develop more concrete models to harness their combined potential as a source of investment capital back home. I expect that embassies adopt an open-door policy to our people living abroad, including the youth. Engagements with them should not only address their consular needs, but also as opportunities for knowledge sharing for positive social and economic impacts back home.
Zimbabwe is in the process of reducing non-tariff barriers, streamlined custom processes, development of e-commerce platforms, and use of digital tools to connect local producers to international buyers to complement investment hubs. Foreign Affairs and International Trade Minister Professor Amon Murwira, who as part of the engagement reiterated the president's call for missions to act as investment hubs. He added that the country was in the process of designing foreign service policies which meet the needs of the modern day.
Your Excellency, in line with your legislative agenda, we have already started developing the principles of the Foreign Affairs and International Trade Bill as you instructed. The bill will codify, affirm the President, our chief diplomat, as the chief diplomat, as the real, authentic foreign minister that we assist, and designing a foreign service that meets the demands of the 21st century.
The event marked the conclusion of the diplomats' annual review and coincided with the 22nd ZANU-PF Annual National People's Conference, which the envoys attended in Mutare. President Mnangagwa also bade farewell to newly appointed ambassadors and those reassigned to new posts. As they leave, the president reminded them to project a positive image of the country and emphasized on economic diplomacy, innovation and industrialization. He encouraged them to work with integrity and dedication. Reporting for ZTN Prime, I am Mirira Nsingo.
Now, after this engagement with ambassadors and heads of mission, President Mnangagwa presided over the 23rd graduation ceremony of the Zimbabwe Open University and commissioned the institution's administration facility. Our correspondent Eben Mabunda attended this event and filed the following report.
Now, President Emmerson Mnangagwa today toured and commissioned the Zimbabwe Open University administration, teaching and learning block in Zimbabwe's capital, Harare. The new facility features an Information Access Center, IAC, a state-of-the-art hub designed to enhance the university's digital learning ecosystem. The IAC was developed through a Zimbabwe-South Korea partnership incorporating globally competitive technology features. From there, President Emmerson Mnangagwa, in his capacity as the Chancellor of the Zimbabwe Open University, presided over ZO's 23rd graduation ceremony, where he capped 2,385 students.
By virtue of the authority vested in me, I hereby confer the award of degrees of the Zimbabwe Open University to those graduates as presented by the Dean.
The President's arrival was celebrated in style, punctuated by prose, poetry, and dance.
Mupembedzei mthungamiri wenyika yethu ngicela limqakezeleni bo yingqithi leyi yintshantu yingqungqulu endizela phezulu. Your Excellency, you are so excellent.
Of the total graduates, 1,590 were female, accounting for 67% of the overall tally. The Faculty of Education produced the highest number of graduates with 586, followed closely by the Faculty of Commerce with 583.
We have a total of 2,385 graduating, and among these, 1,590 are females. The rest are males, 795.
As a fully online institution, ZO continues to spearhead digital education and industry-driven innovation.
We will also ensure that the Information Access Center, which is in this building, provides students and staff from Zimbabwe Open University and from sister universities and from the community in Hatcliffe access to information and communication technologies.
The university has developed several industry-relevant projects with socio-economic impact, among them a clothing manufacturing facility expected to generate over $200,000 annually, and the ZO Masingo biomethane company advancing Zimbabwe's green energy revolution. ZO has also established an agro-industrial park in Kadoma and a Center of Excellence in Epworth in partnership with the First Lady's Angel of Hope Foundation.
Your Excellency, allow me to move on to the Early Childhood Development Center of Excellence in Epworth, which we are developing in partnership with the Angel of Hope Foundation matron, Her Excellency, the First Lady, Dr. Auxilia Mnangagwa.
The ceremony also witnessed several public figures being capped, including Air Force of Zimbabwe Vice Air Marshal Bilton Chingono, ZANU-PF Manicaland Women's League Chairperson Dorothy Mabika, Marondera Rural District Council Mayor Jeremiah Gwanzura, and the Deputy Minister of Tourism, Honorable Tongai Mnangagwa. 4 students living with disabilities were also kept by the President, a move hailed as a milestone for inclusive education.
It was a difficult journey, especially for someone like me living with spinal cord injuries. And I'm also a cancer survivor. I've gone through the surgeries, radiotherapy, chemotherapy, but I'm still here. And today I'm happy because I've achieved, one of my dreams. So, tick.
Mui Elizabeth was awarded the Emerson Dambuza Mnangagwa's Chancellor's Award for the Best Female Student, receiving $1,000, while Mugvuyi Watichafa Peter was named the Best Male Student, also receiving $1,000 from the President.
I'm the recipient of the Best Male Student overall, the E.D. Mnangagwa Award. I am so happy to have this award.
Some graduates shared their experiences of online learning, noting that Zoe's virtual model allowed them to balance work, family, and study.
We're studying very hard. As you know, online university is different from the way others from other universities study, because we usually had to do some tutorials and other weekend classes. We do not go to university every day to have lectures, so it was a very, very hard journey, but I thank God that I have been successful in this journey.
To add icing to the cake, Zim Papers Television Network's chief archivist, Doreen Muranganwa, was among the graduates.
I graduated with the Bachelor of Science Honours in Records and Archives Management. For this, the journey was not easy. I can tell you. I want to thank my family, my husband, even my colleagues at ZTN.
At the end of the day, it's the pragmatic approach to education that makes the difference. As the sun sets over Heathcliff in Harare, this then marks the dawn of a new era, an era of the practical application of the skills here adopted at Zimbabwe Open University. Reporting for ZTN Prime, I'm Ibn Mabunda in Zimbabwe's capital, Harare.
Now, in other news, Ministry of Tourism and Hospitality Industry officially launched the 2025 edition of the Domestic Tourism Festive Season campaign in Kariba today. This campaign, which ran under the theme Nakayedu Ilifa Letu, aims to promote domestic tourism, and that's during the upcoming Christmas and New Year holidays.
Held under the theme Nakayedu Ilifa Letu, Our Heritage, the event took place at Lake Harvest Sports Camp and drew participants from across the tourism sector. Every year, the ministry rolls out festive season campaigns designed to encourage Zimbabweans to explore and celebrate the nation's rich cultural and natural heritage. In 2024, the country introduced the Zimbo campaign, which successfully boosted local travel and tourism awareness. Tourism and Hospitality Industry Minister Barbara Rodzwi reaffirmed the government's commitment to ensuring that Zimbabweans take pride and benefit from their national heritage through increased local travel and participation in the tourism sector.
Kubva 2024 vakati titaive number 6 pasirose 2025 vakati Zimbabwe yawedzera vanhu vauya munyika mayo ne56% kudarika nyika dzose pasi rose. Ngatidei nyika yedu sekuda kwatakaitwa naMwari. Ukaona vanhu vachifarira kuuya pamba pako muroora, sungunuka ufare, nekuti pane zvavaona zvakanaka pamba pako, pane zvavaona zvakanaka mauri iwe unovagamuchira vaenzi.
The campaign commenced with a speech from Tourism and Hospitality Industry Permanent Secretary Takaruza Munyanyiwa, who encouraged delegates to embrace the campaign and play an active role in promoting local tourism.
Your presence signifies our collective commitment to celebrating this launch of domestic festive season campaign here in Kariba. As we start off on this march, let us walk with energy, with song, with dance, with pride. For we are saying, let's take time to enjoy ourselves, visiting places of interest dotted around our beloved country.
Local businesses have expressed optimism about the campaign's potential impact. Rafael Nyirenda, a representative of the Kariba hospitality sector, commended the ministry for organizing such initiatives, noting that they are vital in boosting business for local resorts and service providers.
So we are also going to partner up with the local community and initiatives just to empower them, to give them, just a livelihood. So basically, pretty much that's giving back to them. So we are going to have projects to help them sustain themselves, such as...
The launch comes against the backdrop of ongoing efforts by the Second Republic to strengthen domestic tourism through various policies and promotional pillars. For ZTM Prime, I am Satachi Siwekwaza.
Now, in other news, commuter omnibus driver who turned right into a lane with an oncoming fuel tanker, resulting in a fatal accident that killed 8 people, has been jailed for 3 years and banned from driving public vehicles for life. Wellington Ngoma, who was initially sentenced to 48 months before Mbari magistrate Mr. Batanai Madzingira set aside 12 months of his jail term. Now, the 12 months were suspended on condition that he does not commit a similar offense within the next 5 years. Ngoma was being charged with culpable homicide and will serve 3 effective years. Newsplus will be right back.
Vanoda valisizi itai ae. Varimi vese itai ae. Vanoda go itai ae. Simuza go rako. Kurumiza Nokona kungoti oyo. Wavalisizi pada moyo. Wanyai wana maina na baba. Kurumiza Mbeu kwa yori kuvalisizi. Airo wene zvifukuto kana tsikitsi. Kana zvivere ende no kupavesti. Apa ndiri kurevesa very honest. Nevalisizi itai ae. Varimi vese itai ae.
Mwaka uno tenga mbeu yako ku Valley Seeds usimudze goho rako. Valley Seeds vauchiki vembeu yechibage, yepana nePioneer, goros, ma-traditional grains nema-vegetable seeds ose anopa goho repamsorosoro. Valley Seeds, where farming meets the farmer.
Good evening and welcome to the greatest show on earth. This is a people's game. They will be bubbling about this one for weeks and months to come. Let's go! Lights, camera, action. Put your mind on it, look the lights are
Wherever you are, whatever your reason, it's on SuperSport all season long. Reconnect and stay connected to DSTV Compact and get the best football on us.
This is Newsplus coming to you live from Harare this Friday evening. And we move on to our next local story. The Minister of State for Provincial Affairs and Devolution for Harare Metropolitan Province, Charles Tavengwa, has implored local authorities to urgently deal with waste management and litter challenges. He noted that the city fathers are found wanting when it comes to service delivery, and this alarming situation was brought to light during an all-stakeholders meeting chaired by the minister on Thursday.
As the rain season approaches, questions emerged regarding city fathers' preparedness to deal with issues of drainage system. Harare Provincial Affairs Minister Charles Tavengwa implored local authorities to urgently improve on service delivery. He met with town clerks, senior government officials, and officials from local authorities to deliberate on how they can improve service delivery. The meeting served as a follow-up to call to action, No Compromise to Service Delivery, launched by President Mnangagwa in 2023.
We discussed the issue of vendors. As local authorities, let us also prepare for areas where vending is acceptable. Okay? Please, let's do that. And I also urge you as local authorities that you should be proud of inviting us to your local authorities so that you show off your achievements. Not kana ndakuti ndakuya iko kumautanga kumhaya mhaya kumbotsvaira tsvaira migwagwa nekuita you should always be prepared.
Secretary for Presidential Affairs and Devolution in the Office of President and Cabinet, Engineer Tafazo Muguti, implored all authorities to lead by example. He highlighted that local authorities have not taken the stand in instituting essential bylaws.
We want to get to a situation where the street cleaning is done routinely between 8 p.m. and midnight, including the streets washing and everything, so that by the time we get into the streets in the morning, we know that they are clean. If you find someone vending after midnight, what are you selling after midnight? Who's your client? It becomes a big challenge.
Environmental Management Agent's Provincial Manager Leon Mutungamiri said they've started instituting some enforcement and raising awareness.
We are starting with mobile awareness. After mobile awareness, we are going to revisit these areas now to prosecute anyone seen dumping waste at these illegal sites.
Meanwhile, Harare City Municipal Police Superintendent Bernard Meja bemoans incapacitation. He revealed that the city is currently operating with only 60 municipal police officers, hindering their ability to service delivery.
The deployment strength to those that are doing enforcement is only about 60. 60, yes. And the 60 is not even enough even to control Mbari. And that force is not even capacitated enough to deal with night vending. You know, those night vendors these days, they've become violent. You need to be capacitated to be able to deal with them. But our capacitation is not enough.
Officer commanding Harare Province, Commissioner Maxwell Chikunguru, said they are prepared to execute their responsibilities. He emphasized the need for more support to counter resistance.
In the process of the enforcement, they met a lot of challenges in terms of resistance when they are doing their enforcement. So that is where we come in as a therapy, but we urge them to approach us, let them take lead in the operations. When they take lead, they approach us, then we will be ready to support them.
The stakeholders implored that it is everyone's responsibility to ensure the environment remains clean. And as the adage says, cleanliness is next to godliness. Latwo Nyangu for ZN Prime in Harare.
That was something on service delivery. Now, the next report says Zimbabwe must increase domestic investment in tuberculosis programs to sustain the gains made in fighting the disease amid dwindling donor support that threatens critical health interventions. We give you more.
Speaking at the official opening of the 2025 National TB Conference in Harare, Health and Childcare Minister Dr. Douglas Mombeshura says continued reliance on external support is no longer sustainable. He urged the government, the private sector, and development partners to explore innovative financing models to close the funding gap.
But as we celebrate progress, we must be honest about the road ahead. TB remains a serious public health challenge, and the shifting landscape of global health financing is creating uncertainty for critical programs.
Minister Mombeshura says while Zimbabwe has made notable progress in TB case detection, treatment and prevention, more resources were needed to accelerate progress towards ending the epidemic by 2030.
Let us build on what is working, explore new ways of financing sustainable TB responses, and strengthen the partnerships that brought us this far.
In 2024, the country recorded 20,189 TB cases, up from 19,545 in 2023, a rise attributed to intensified case-finding efforts and strengthened diagnostic capacity. Zimbabwe was removed from the World Health Organization's list of top 30 high-burden TB countries in 2021. though it remains on the list for countries facing dual burden of HIV, TB, and multi-drug resistant TB. Minister Mombeshora commended the National TB Program for expanding access to modern diagnostic technologies with 188 GenExpect machines now operational across the country. Zimbabwe has also begun adopting AI-assisted digital X-rays and stool for testing for childhood TB, innovations expected to improve early detection and diagnosis. However, an estimated 15,000 TB cases were missed last year, meaning thousands remain undiagnosed and continue to spread the infection. Director, AIDS and TB Programs, Dr. Owen Mugurungi says while progress was commendable, the reduction in global donor funding posed a direct threat to recent gains.
Despite our progress in our battle against TB, the fight is not yet over. The TB epidemic in Zimbabwe remains significant. We face a high burden of TB, HIV co-infection at 50%, persistent challenges with drug-resistant TB.
To understand what's at stake, TB survivors say access to testing and treatment saved their lives and must remain accessible to everyone.
TB chirwere chinorapika hakusi kuti kana munhu waita TB onzi wakufa.
Saka ndinoramba chingokurudzira kuti vana ngavaendewo kuzvipatara vandoonekwa ishe BCG mucommunity. Vana vakazvarwa ndinokurudzira kuti vai vanozvarira mumba ngavaende kuclinic, vana vanobaiwa BCG. Vai vanenge vazvarirwa kuchipatara ngasabuda muchipatara asina kuitwa BCG mwana.
As donor support continues to decline, the call grows louder for Zimbabwe to take full ownership of its TB response, protecting hard-won gains and saving more lives. Reporting for ZTN Prime, I am Talent Gori in Harare.
And now something to do with farming. Agricultural graduates have been implored by various stakeholders to view farming as a business that drives national prosperity and transforms rural communities. Now, about 91 students graduated with diplomas at the 73rd Gwebi Agricultural College graduation ceremony in Harare, and the celebration was running under the theme Innovation Hubs, Promotion of Sustainable Entrepreneurship in Agriculture and its Value Chain in the Era of Climate Change and Variability.
Because agriculture is at the epicenter of the transformation of Zimbabwe to an upper middle income society, it has become necessary to come up with a new training paradigm, a heritage-based training, agricultural education for development 5.0, away from agricultural education 2.0, agricultural education 2.0, focused on training and extension, because we were training employees. So you'd find that you'd go into agritech, you'd go into any other. So we were training employees. Gone are the days we would like this cohort of graduates to become employees. We want you to be able to stand alone, which is why agricultural education for development focuses on 5 things. First, we said we want to do the training, that must continue. We also want to do business advisory.
The Zimbabwe Energy Regulatory Authority, ZERA, has committed to implementing stronger punitive measures against service stations that sell contaminated fuel to the public, as well as to intervene in the growth of service stations, especially in Harare CBD and peri-urban areas. Now, ZERA also identified challenges faced by independent power producers and will strive to address them, thereby enhancing power production. We give you more in the following report.
Stakeholders have raised concerns regarding the proliferation of service stations in Harare. Some are located adjacent to one another, while others face each other, which contradict city planning regulations. To address this issue, ZERA says they will take a proactive approach, working with the City Council and EMA.
We then approach environmental management agents in terms of EMA permit around issues to do with impact to the environment. And then after that has been done, you can actually go ahead and construct a service station and then come to us at the end. Now we want to come at the front where we actually issue the permitted to construct.
The unchecked sprouting of service stations in dubious areas raises the possibility of unlawful activities which could have significant repercussions for the public. One notable example is the unfortunate tale of Peter Chamunoro. He refueled at the usual service station, and since that time, his vehicle has not functioned. It was subsequently proved that the fuel he received consisted of 70% water and only 30% actual fuel. A fuel station that is found guilty of selling contaminated fuel will incur a fine between $30 and $300. The CEO of Zera has expressed dissatisfaction with the judicial penalties, stating that they are insufficient as a deterrent.
We're not quite happy with the fines being imposed by the judiciary at the moment, but what we've now done is we've also come up with our own regulations, where if you're a repeat offender, we have to close your site for 6 months, and you repeat again after being reopened, and you then suspend your license.
Having granted licenses to more than 125 independent power producers, less than 50 have successfully commenced operations, which is a concerning trend for the authority. However, on a positive note, the chairman of Zimbabwe's Independent Power Producers Association, Victor Utedzi, praised Zera for enhancing cost-reflective tariffs.
Since about last year, year before last, that we have now begun to see Zera giving what we call cost-reflective tariffs. That helps because the industry, generation, transmission and distribution depend on economic tariffs that are set at a level that will enable investors to be able to recoup their.
With the new measures expected to tighten control over the sale and distribution of fuel, Zera says it remains committed to protecting consumers and ensuring safety in the energy sector. As enforcement intensifies and regulations are strengthened, motorists and operators alike will be watching to see whether these promises bring lasting change. Tafaras Buchiwe for ZTN Prime.
Private sector involvement in development commended. That story still to come.
Welcome wherever you are. And Mamouche, room to shoot. He well and truly did. It's an opportunity. What a shot to Shado! Tarkovsky! Scott's got to be careful. Bukayo Saka! But it's Salah, and that one delivers!
Never miss a play, home or away. Stream all Premier League games live on Showmax.
Welcome back. You are still watching Newsplus. Now, the sale of sexual enhancement products in the streets of Harare has been on the rise. Many men have been seeking cheap and quick fixes for intimacy issues. The following story gives insight into what is behind this trend as well as the possible health implications. In the shadows of Harare's busy streets, a lucrative trade thrives, preying on men's deepest vulnerabilities. The allure is strong, but the risks are said to be stronger. Power Plus potions, as the name suggests, promise to fuel performance for men at just $2, but what is the real cost? The mysterious concoctions smuggled from countries like Zambia and DRC, at least according to the bottle stickers, are reportedly laced with prescription medicines and other unpredictable ingredients. Other cheap products classified as jumpers that are in high demand are buru and honey.
Vabereki ndakabata bhuri remuZimbabwe. Iri bhuri iri riribo zvekutodaro. Tikutoona madzimai achitoritenga. Vanhu vakuru chaicho vakachena ndebvu vakutorimhanyirira zvekudaro.
And these are said to be imitations of Power Plus.
Iyi ndo Power Plus. Ndo yakakopwa iyi, but yaiwanike chero patinoihoda chachepo. Haitowaniki unochaya kuti iri kumbowanikwa kupi, but ndo iri kukopwa pakugadzira bhuri. Asi Power Plus inoshanda. Kune vamwe vakutoti vakatoiwana vakutoimixa either nedragon nemauyu.
Back in the day, men utilized a more natural approach of using herbs. But in today's fast-paced world, the call of quick fixes is too loud to ignore. A change in lifestyle and sexual performance pressures drive some men to use these products. And some men simply want to experiment.
That item, ukainwa uri munhu wemurume, simba rako rinotowedzerei zvekuti kana mai vari kukombreni havakombreni futi.
Experts, however, warn of the long-term health risks and side effects that come with these products.
These enhancers, they fry the organs of the body, the kidneys, the liver, the heart, including this, what we're calling this power plus. There were cases among the complications of where people would go for long and long hours with erection, and the erection would then become even, people want that, but it becomes very painful. And some people, they complain of headaches. And another problem with this, again, it can cause heart problems, even to the extent of a heart attack.
Dr. Ruende adds the consequences can be devastating.
There is no dose whatsoever. You take it, and probably you've heard of a case of people who died. I think 3 or 4 guys who died from Chipinge, from these sexual enhancers. And we have a number of those cases in which people, they take them, but they have no idea about the doses.
The Medicines Control Authority of Zimbabwe has also warned against the use of these unregulated substances.
I think we are seeing a challenge in the proliferation of unregistered sex enhancement drugs that are being sold in the streets. These drugs are not registered by the Medicines Control Authority of Zimbabwe, and therefore we cannot speak or vouch for their safety, quality, or efficacy.
And police have on several occasions condemned the sale of unregulated sex enhancers, which they believe also fuel the rise in sexual abuse.
We are also aware that some of the suspects, there is information that they could be doing it because the people who are using sex-enhancing drugs or tablets, something which the police is currently looking at in conjunction with the medical experts.
This pursuit of pleasure and the vulnerabilities that follow it are all beyond what meets the eye. Reporting for ZTN Prime, Wadzanai Sansole. And still on issues to do with health, cancer patients in Bulawayo and the southern region of the country are set to benefit from a major boost in treatment services. Bilo Central Hospital, whose radiotherapy machines have been out of action since 2017, is set to receive brand new equipment early next year, restoring access to affordable cancer care as the government moves to ensure universal health coverage. Our correspondent Andile Chuma gives us more in the following report.
For many in the southern region, this upgraded Bilo Central Hospital represents more than just modern equipment. It is renewed hope for affordable and accessible cancer treatment. The breakdown of the machines at Mbilo Hospital had placed an immense strain on the oncology department, with long waiting lists and high costs for patients seeking treatment outside Bulawayo. The new Siemens units will increase treatment capacity and allow for modern cancer management protocols benefiting patients across Matabeleland, Midlands, Maswingo, and the southern region.
The radiotherapy center remains our sole thumb. Since 2017, it has been down. Numerous efforts have been made to repair the machines. I'm pleased to announce to you all today that as recently as 2 days ago, I hosted representatives from Siemens, the manufacturers of radiotherapy machines. And they have assured me that we are getting brand new machines come March, April 2026.
The hospital's radiotherapy units have been out of service since 2017, forcing patients to travel to Harare or rely on expensive private care providers, often beyond the country's borders. Chief Medical Officer Dr. Nasisia Zwanga said a team from Siemens confirmed that the new equipment will be delivered and installed by the first quarter of 2026.
I've been informed as recently this morning, our guest of honor, that Gweru, Mutare and Mashingo are also going to get radiotherapy machines so that the cancer treatment is accessible across the whole country. And we thank the ministry for those initiatives.
This is part of government's prioritization program anchored on healthcare infrastructure, ensuring hospitals across the country are equipped with modern facilities. The Minister of Health is also rolling out an initiative that will see health workers being deployed to rural areas through various incentives, while also boosting rural health accessibility under the Universal Healthcare Access Agenda.
But as the government and
our partners were preparing to make sure how best can we retain those people, those professionals to those areas, especially in terms of accommodation, in terms of monetary incentives, in terms of all other incentives we can make to retain them. So that's the drive where the ministry is right now.
The UNFPA reaffirmed the UNICEF agency commitment to supporting public health facilities in the country.
We have supported also leadership of Midwifery Association, young leaders through the Midwifery Association. Your profession deserves a strong, unified voice. We are proud to see the impact of our local midwives.
With the machines expected early next year, Bilo Hospital is preparing its oncology and technical teams for installation and staff training. Health officials say this is part of a broader government plan to decentralize specialized services and make quality healthcare accessible to all. For ZTN Prime, I'm Andile Chuma in Bulawayo.
Now, Mpilo Central Hospital continues to make its mark as a center of excellence in healthcare training after scooping top honors in the National Nursing Examinations. Now, today the institution celebrated the graduation of a new class of nurses and midwives, reaffirming its position as a beacon of medical excellence in the southern region.
It was a day of pride and celebration for Mpilo Central Hospital as scores of nurses and midwives graduated from the institution's schools of nursing and midwifery. Mpilo has become synonymous with healthcare excellence, with its students having recently scooped gold and silver in the National Nursing and Midwifery Examinations, a feat that underscores its academic and professional leadership in the sector. Over 260 nurses and midwives graduated from the Mpilo School of Nursing and Midwifery during the same ceremony, with several receiving awards for clinical excellence and leadership. Deputy Minister of Health and Childcare, Slayman Kwidini, commended Mpilo's contribution to the national health delivery system, describing it as a model institution in the ministry's hospital modernization drive.
As nurses, you will be beacons of hope, comforters and pillars of strength for the sick under that you care for. Always remember the values of kindness, respect and professionalism that have been instilled in you throughout your training. You work tirelessly to acquire the knowledge, skills and empathy required to excel in this field. Your dedication will positively impact countless lives as nurses and midwives. Your expertise will make a difference in lives of many.
Hospital management urged the new health professionals to uphold compassion and professionalism as Zimbabwe's health sector undergoes transformation.
We look forward to the new National Health Insurance, which will guarantee access to universal health for all our citizens. We continue to face challenges in patient care due to drug and shortage of sundries. Our main supplier, NatFarm, still needs to be capitalized as it is our main source of drugs and surgical sundries.
The head of the School of Nursing applauded the graduates for their hard work, saying the school's success reflects the collective commitment of faculty and management to producing competent healthcare and professionals.
This year's theme for International Nurses Day 2025 is Nurses, a Voice to Lead Health for All. It means that as nurses, you have a leadership role in shaping healthcare policies and improving patient care. Advocate for equal access to healthcare, especially the underserved communities.
Principal tutor for the School of Midwifery said the institution is constantly evolving to meet the demands of modern healthcare, introducing post-basic trauma training and sign language courses to promote inclusivity and quality patient care.
By projection per year, we should be taking 90 to 120 students. The year under review, today we are witnessing 61 graduates who were trained during the year under review. I am proud to note that there was a 100% pass rate and no attrition from the three groups.
With a proud record of excellence, modern training initiatives, and a forward-looking health strategy, Mbilo Central Hospital continues to stand tall as a cornerstone of Zimbabwe's public health system. For ZTN Prime, I'm Andile Chuma in Bulawayo.
It's time to take a look at what's happening in the world of business now.
Harare, tune into the beat.
Capitalk 100.4 FM, your source for news, business, sports, fashion, and more.
Experience the pulse of Harare's culture and lifestyle.
Capitalk 100.4 FM, Harare's top radio station.
Join the conversation with Zimbabwe's top personalities.
Subscribe now for fresh and infotainment content daily.
Capital 100.4 FM, Harare's heartbeat.
The Ministry of Information Communication Technology, Postal and Courier Services has intensified efforts to strengthen cybersecurity in partnership with the private sector. This follows a sharp rise in cyber threats, with ransomware attacks up by 105% in 2023, and the global average cost of data breach now topping $4.35 million. And over 30 students from local institutions have graduated from a new cyber incident response training program that's aimed at building a local capacity to safeguard Zimbabwe's fast-growing digital economy. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry, Dr. Biula Chirume, says the government is ensuring a secure digital environment for business and consumers.
Cybersecurity must be treated as a national priority with coordinated efforts across public and private sectors. You appreciate right now that we are transitioning into NDS2, and within that context we have the digital economy as one of our key result areas. But how do we achieve the digital economy without a safe cyberspace? Is that possible? No. And it will only happen because of you and me. As you are all aware, the digital space continues to evolve rapidly, bringing with it both opportunities and risks. Zimbabwe's transformation toward the digital economy under the National ICT Policy Framework 2022 to 2027, and of course our Vision 2030, our NDS1 and NDS2, requires not only infrastructure development but also a very robust human capital base that is skilled.
This training marks the start of a national push to strengthen cyber resilience across key economic institutions, and graduates included representatives from the Reserve Bank, from ZIMRA, from MCAS, and the ZRP. These are all agencies that are critical to financial and data security. And Dr. Chirume praised the public-private partnerships driving such initiatives, saying a secure digital ecosystem is vital for investor confidence and economic growth.
I would like to express our deep appreciation as the Ministry of ICT, Postal and Courier Services to our partners here, Broadnet Africa and Symmetric Solutions, for their unwavering collaboration and technical expertise. This partnership exemplifies the Ministry's commitment to working with the private sector to advance digital safety and skills development in Zimbabwe. And together we will make the cyberspace in Zimbabwe safe.
The government has been commended for demonstrating strong leadership in the ongoing drive to formalize the artisanal and small-scale mining sector, a key initiative aimed at promoting sustainable mining practices, enhancing transparency, and strengthening strategic partnerships across the mining value chain. And speaking at the just-ended Planet Gold Zimbabwe Annual Stakeholders Conference in Harare, Engineer Marlon Siwela of Planet Gold Zimbabwe said the sector continues to face numerous challenges that require shared responsibility and collective action. business, Zimbabwean firms are set to exhibit at the forthcoming China International Import Expo, showcasing the country's growing economic diversity and capacity for value-added exports. The participation is organized by the National Trade Development and Export Promotion Organization, ZimTrade, where 16 companies drawn from horticulture, tobacco, heritage-based foods and oils, leather, arts and crafts, and e-commerce will feature under the Zimbabwean National Pavilion. Coming up is entertainment news. We now give you your entertainment news this Friday. Bulawayo's rising DJ and producer Spencer M is quickly turning heads in Southern Africa's electronic music scene. Known for his fusion of Afrotech and three-step, he has been dubbed the next big thing after Night Freak. He recently embarked on his first regional tour in Egypt, marking a significant milestone in his career. Now, his music is all about feeling, a journey that connects culture, groove, and emotion. His journey began with curiosity and a love for how sound brings people together, experimenting in home setups, playing small sessions, and eventually producing his own tracks to tell stories through rhythm and texture. Still on entertainment, Zim Praise Choir is set to perform at the Zim Papers Cancer Power Walk that will be held this Saturday at Old Hararians Sports Club. This event is being held across the country in line with October's Cancer Awareness Month.
Get ready for the Zim Papers Cancer Power Walk 2025 in partnership with Island Hospice and Healthcare on November 1st, 2025, as we come together to support the cancer cause. In Harare, Bulawayo, Mutare, Masvingo, Gweru or Chinhoyi, you can participate physically or join us virtually from anywhere in the world. Run, walk or cycle for cancer.
Now, the movie Chinhoyi 7 has received 6 nominations at the Rivers International Film Festival that's scheduled for Sunday at Downtown Cinema Runodara in Eneka in River State, Nigeria. This 2018 film is based on the famous Battle of Chinhoyi, a crucial event in Zimbabwe's liberation struggle. The battle took place on April 28, 1966. Written and directed by Moses Matanda, it chronicles the story of the 7 Zanla guerrillas who were the first to fight against the Ian Smith regime, sparking the Second Chimurenga that ultimately led to Zimbabwe's independence. The film was bankrolled by the Zimbabwe Defense Forces and premiered on March 16 in 2018. The movie has been nominated in 6 categories at the Third Rivers International Film Festival, and it marks a significant development for the local film industry. Stand by for your sports updates. The Zimbabwe senior men's cricket team suffered a second successive defeat to Afghanistan, conceding the T20 International Series to the visitors after another disappointing display at Harare Sports Club. After losing the toss, Zimbabwe was sent in to bat first and struggled to build momentum early on as the top order once again faltered, reaching just 32 for 2 at the end of the power play. The Afghan bowling attack, led by the spin trio of Mujib Rahman, Abdullah Ahmadai, and Rashid Khan, kept relentless pressure on the hosts, restricting them to 125 all out. Now, Captain Sikandar Raza was the standout performer with the bat, top scoring for the hosts with 37 of 32 deliveries, but he found little support from the rest of the lineup. And in response, Zimbabwe's bowlers struggled to make inroads, with the visitors controlling the innings comfortably from the start to finish, as Afghanistan made light work of the chase, reaching 129 for 3 in 18 overs to seal a 7-wicket victory and take an unassailable lead in the series. The defeat marks another tough outing for the Chevrons, who will need to regroup ahead of the third and final match scheduled for Sunday afternoon at Harare Sports Club to restore pride and confidence. We move on to football now. Dynamos welcome Bikita Minerals in what is a must-win encounter for the side as they target for survival. Ahead of the encounter, Dynamos head coach Kelvin Kaindu predicts a tough encounter against fellow relegation-threatened side Bikita Minerals and is keen on getting a positive result at home.
I think we come yet for another league game that is very, very important for us. Bikita, very good, strong, a bit unpredictable on how they are going to perform. They come, I think, with a very convincing victory from the last game that they played, not far away from us, and I believe every team would want to capitalize and probably go for maximum points. We, of course, our objective is for us to get a positive result, but we don't want to get carried away before we play. We know that Bikita is going to come with everything that they have, and it's not going to be easy, but we want to focus on what we can do, and hopefully that we remain consistent in terms of us getting goals.
And after a terrible start to the season that saw them struggling to score and win games, the side has finally managed to close the gap between them and other clubs and are now optimistic that they will maintain their top flight status.
Prospects are quite high. I think it could have been very difficult the time that we join in the point difference with, I think, the team that was slightly above us. I think the gap was just too much, but now we have closed in with most of the teams. Probably a victory will push us in a better position. The prospects of us surviving, I think they're almost getting higher and higher, and we just hope that we keep seeing the light at the end of the tunnel.
Now, in other sports news, the Zimbabwe Chess Federation says they intend to spread the game to all four corners of the country in order to make sure that everybody gets a chance to play the game. Zimbabwe Chess Federation President Todd Mapingire says there is need to give every talent a chance so that the more players are exposed to new environments and challenges after the Federation took part in a number of tournaments this year.
In the mantra of the leader, everyone, leaving no one behind. So in chess, we also have adopted that same mantra from our leader, HE, that we're leaving no one behind. So we're going to make sure that everyone else gets an opportunity to represent the country. There's been a lot of talent raw in Zimbabwe, but it has not yet been exposed. So we are now taking them aboard and exposing them to international flair. We're also thankful to our international partners that have constantly come on board to actually assist us and accommodate us. And we're also thankful to SRC. It will not be impossible because they've also come in to actually clear our players, assist us where we're going. It's a combined effort, ZCF, the government, our international players. So we're thankful to everyone else. If these doors continue like this, it means that next year we'll have a horde of more players that are going to expose. It actually signifies a lot in putting Zimbabwe on the map in all international tournaments that we've been participating in.
Now, Mapingire is also optimistic that the Federation will be able to spread the game far and wide so as to make sure that there is growth as well as the introduction of new players who will represent the nation.
Yes, to our standards it was, but we want to do more for Zimbabwe, and putting our country first is actually our mantra. So we hope 2026 we're going to double what we've done in 2025. But however, we're satisfied with the start that we've had so far. Chess is continuing to grow, and we build from the previous administrations that have been there, and we're thankful for what they've done, and we also hope to take it to another stage where others will then take it forward also. Yes, for Zimbabwe Chess, what we have done, we are going to be partnering a lot of organizations in terms of spreading chess to all the grassroots, not only to the marginalized areas. We're also going to be doing going to the refugee camp in Chipinge to actually also incorporate those that have been segregated due to other issues or marginalized to other issues of their country. So we're not only targeting Zimbabweans, but also for those that have migrated to Zimbabwe and staying in the refugees areas of also noted. We're also in the prisons. So we're everywhere. Basically, we are going to be targeting all the marginalized areas of the community that are existent in Zimbabwe.
And that's a wrap on Newsplus this Friday evening. Thank you very much for tuning in. My name is Wadzanai Sansole. It's a good night from myself and the crew behind the scenes.
Gather around. Okay.